All right, hello and welcome. So we'll get started in 1 minute. So just keep waiting a little bit, and in 1 minute we will get started. Okay, Christian. So that's the time. So let's welcome our audience. So Christian, maybe you want to introduce yourself first.
Sure. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the webinar on closing the gap between promises and reality, intranet and AI. I'm Christian Harity. I'll be co-hosting this with Knut Rebe this morning and give you a little bit of an insight to current state of things and moving forward.
Yes, thank you so much for taking the time to join us, Christian, today. So Knut is my name, and I'm here together with Christian from our partner Geodesic. So I'm here with Mosaic 365, and we are really happy to share our knowledge with you today on this webinar. And feel free to drop in questions in the Q&A, because at the end we will have a Q&A section. So with that, I will leave the floor to you for now, Christian. So good luck.
Well. So we're going to take you through a few things. One, which is the current landscape of what people are seeing. Some of this might be familiar, some of it might be insightful, or explain a few of the trends that are moving on forward. Refocusing the perspective of what is actually important, and then overcoming those limitations, which is really the solution. We'll have a look into Mosaic, and Knut will show us some of the things that you can practically do with an actual demo. All right. So right now there's a lot going on. There's been a great hype, particularly with AI. It's been moving a lot. It's changed the landscape and the decision-making quite a bit. Clearly, some of the things that people were using before and have become enhanced are now having more automated bots, and outsourcing some of the pre-support things, as well as information gathering through a bot, natural language processing, and conversational interfaces, which are now changing the way we interact with the software. And hopefully there's now the promise that we'll have that personal assistant coming within the next year or two. That is really the height of what the AI and transformers should be able to give us. We've already been confronted with generative content. In fact, we've been overwhelmed by it, giving AI a bit more promise than is necessary, but definitely changing our productivity, particularly when it comes to those who feel weaker in writing in other languages, being able to translate things, changing the way you do your research, but also with the danger of the accuracy and the whole topic of hallucinations. What's really exciting, and where AI is expanding very quickly, and we should see this more in a year to 2 years, is the fact that it's going to revolutionize analytics, heuristic analytics, being able to see patterns that we don't see beforehand. Analytics is one of the most complicated disciplines within digital, because it's trying to track behavior and it's trying to interpret behavior. And something that machines are showing us is that they are able to see those patterns, surface those patterns better, and revolutionize the way we use analytics. Clearly, obviously, automation and the human interaction simulation, which is this actual having a somewhat human interaction, although you're actually running that by a machine. Now, what this has caused is an enormous investment in AI. The forerunner of that was, of course, Microsoft, and Microsoft has taken the fields. There's constant reports about who currently has the lead. Microsoft really put their hat in the ring first, in the sense that they tried to combine it immediately with their productivity suite, which is what changed the scene a bit. Having already started their intranet approach, or a new intranet approach with the Viva suite, which is now being changed or rebranded constantly because of Copilot, Copilot Plus, and you're hearing more Copilot than you are Viva. The idea was that your new productivity, your new collaboration space, your new intranet are going to be AI infused, AI driven, and heavily AI assisted. So everyone now has their own personal assistant. And this is a bit of that promise that's there, leading to organizations moving more and more back to Microsoft and trying to consolidate services, because one, they already were losing the overview. It has a simple cost cutting or cost efficiency approach and logic to it. But more importantly, when that assistant, that logical, intelligent assistant that I think everyone has always wanted to have, doing the mundane tasks in the background for you and maybe even taking phone calls, they want to be ready for it. They want to have a platform that's already compatible, and the promise that Microsoft will consolidate that with all the other services that most of us are already using is a major motivator to say, no, we're going to consolidate now because we don't want to miss out on the opportunity to have that. On the other side, and this is the trend that's been growing since the pandemic era and more as we move to digital, was how do we reconnect with our frontline workers and get everyone else connected? For anyone who's not sitting behind a desk all day or in an office or is on the go, to people who are in the factory driving trucks, how do we connect them so that they feel informed, so that they are getting the right messages, so that they are able to interact with their colleagues as efficiently as those who are sitting behind a desk? So this leaves us with 97% of executives, believe that generative AI is going to have a positive impact. They are all investing or investigating an application for the use of AI at this time. It's not as convincing as some might have believed when they initially started, but they're seeing that the services are now being rolled out. Many of them are now subscribing to several services and have seen the major improvements literally on a monthly basis or bi-monthly basis from Microsoft of what the capabilities are expanding every day. 78% of employees use their own AI tools at work. We see this as sort of the new shadow IT corner, where if you don't give them these tools, they will find ways to use them themselves. This is why you will see that many, particularly in organizations that maybe haven't embraced AI or generative AI, they're seeing private use or unsanctioned use of it, because it is that useful for being able to generate content for communications in your day-to-day. Then 74% of organizations have made no effort to reduce a bias in generative AI systems. And I think this is one of the ones that people were most afraid of. There was a great documentary called Coded Bias on Netflix that really touched on this topic. Assessment systems, HR systems, pre-filtering systems for applications, all of these are now under greater scrutiny because of the pattern biases that they've shown, and the fact that they show favoritism because they're still based on models that carry some of the negative as well as positive, but carry some of the negative decision making that we've seen in the past forward, which are where some of the controversy is now focused. So to put things into perspective, there's a great deal of lingo out there. People are constantly talking about collaboration. They're constantly talking about communications, revolutionizing digital workplace, modern workplace, and what that actually means. And everyone is talking about elements of it, but the wider ecosystem is getting lost. And what that really is today, a modern workplace, is now a conglomeration of ever closer knit applications, a a icon salad, if you will, of different tools that we are using in our daily work. Some of those are communications in the classic sense, where we're getting information, where we're reading news, where we've got the classic bulletin boards to the spam emails that we get from on a daily basis, to the collaboration tools, which in some cases those are taking part in a community, talking in a team space, looking at a SharePoint space and co-creating and collaborating on the creation of content, like creating PowerPoint presentations and Word documents, and doing that in real time together, all the way to some of the publishing and direct communications that we have, which becomes less and less distinguishable from what we're doing in our normal productivity suite, which is where we all started. The one thing that we all used to have was, well, we had our applications and we used them locally, and then we would share them later. All of this is now happening in real time, and it's that bringing together, which is where the complexity that we experience today, but also where the challenges are that we see today.